Building AI applications grew more difficult, expensive, and complex this week as the underlying hardware hit a visible ceiling. To understand the implications, we have to look at the tech stack, starting at Layer 1, the bare metal compute and infrastructure that powers every model. Microsoft is now restricting access to its GPUs, prioritizing internal development teams and its largest customers over independent developers. Compute has transitioned into a rationed resource, favoring established tech giants, while leaving startup engineers to compete for the remaining overhead. Beyond the hardware, software tooling costs are climbing. GitHub Copilot recently began charging developers usage-based fees on top of their existing monthly subscriptions. This increase in raw power also brings new operational risks. Anthropic's Mythos model, for example, has highlighted a surge in sophisticated security threats that require immediate attention. This chart shows how new model capabilities create threat vectors that must be caught by a dedicated firewall. As these risks grow, infrastructure defense from providers like CrowdStrike and Palo Alto Networks has become a mandatory investment. These security requirements represent a growing drain on financial resources, pulling capital away from core product development to cover overhead. Layer 1 is currently defined by this friction: high operational costs, restricted access to hardware, and a mandatory tax on security. As the infrastructure bottlenecks tighten, the traditional cloud alliances that defined the last decade are beginning to fragment. In a major shift, OpenAI is officially ending its exclusive cloud partnership with Microsoft. The updated contract caps Microsoft's revenue share through 2030 and removes the restrictive AGI clause that previously dictated their technical roadmap. This change allows OpenAI's models to be sold and deployed directly through Amazon Web Services. Developers can now also choose to run these same models on Google's infrastructure or any other provider of their choice. The landscape is moving toward a decentralized multi-cloud environment where model access is no longer tied to a single infrastructure provider. OpenAI is making this move as Anthropic begins to dominate the market conversation. This chart tracks the recent surge in secondary market trading. Anthropic's valuation is approaching $1 trillion, placing it side by side with OpenAI's high $800 billion range. Investors are bidding aggressively for a stake in the growth of products like Claude Code. While Anthropic eyes a $1 trillion valuation, OpenAI is occupied with the trial phase of Elon Musk's lawsuit. All major participants, including Sam Altman, Greg Brockman, and Musk himself, have agreed to a social media gag order for the duration of the trial. These legal disputes are playing out against a backdrop where the market value of model access has become the primary driver of the ecosystem. Right now, at the application layer, the industry is rapidly moving past the standalone chat box towards autonomous agents. 11 Labs recently released 50 pre-configured agent templates, allowing companies to deploy autonomous voices for sales and operations with minimal setup. Microsoft is adopting the same philosophy with its new agent mode in Outlook, which is designed to manage inboxes and calendars without direct user supervision. Snap is embedding these agents directly into its chat interface, allowing brands to interact with users and drive conversions within an existing conversation. Creative tools are following suit. Claude now plugs into Blender, Adobe, and live visual controllers like Resolume, enabling natural language commands to replace complex manual menus. The shift toward embedding agents directly into existing software removes the need for users to toggle between different AI interfaces. This integration trend is now moving toward bypassing the traditional software operating system entirely. OpenAI is reportedly partnering with MediaTek, Qualcomm, and Luxshare to develop its own mobile phone hardware. This device would likely run on a native AI operating system, where agents perform the functions traditionally handled by independent apps. The phone is part of a broader strategy that includes rumored smart speakers, glasses, and lighting. This diagram shows the new requirements for AI development. Success now depends on navigating multi-cloud deployments, integrating autonomous agents into existing workflows, and preparing for a hardware-native future.